Good day, Santa Clarita. I hope everything has gone well through the night. We are at another day. We are at the 8th of August, 2024. I'm Connor MacIvor. This is going to be your daily real estate update for those of you interested, if I could get the chair centered, interested in Santa Clarita real estate and all of the facets therein. Basically talking about, as I always do every single day, we'll talk about where the market is currently, what you can expect in the coming months, and if there's anything you need to be watching out for. So first and foremost, if I had more ink in the printer, I would be able to read this better. But currently we're at 496 active listings, which is again 4 away from 500. I've been tracking this for a very long time because real estate inventory and the absorption rate of that inventory is what indicates the status of the current market, at least whether it's in a seller's position or a buyer's position. We've been in a seller's position for many years now, and that started with the bottom of the market back in 2011 and 2012. After the foreclosure inventory was eaten up, the market returned to a bit of normalcy, well, even better than it was before, because there were a lot more regulations and rules, albeit we all don't like those regulations and rules, but there were people back before the beginning of the last cycle that were buying residential real estate based on numbers, and those verification processes weren't very solid. They might have been mandatory, but there weren't really fail-safes. So when you put in the human element, you have people that are trying to line their own pockets at the detriment of other people, and those other people probably weren't getting the right information about that we cover in every buyer briefing. Should you be buying real estate or not? So that's something to look out for. We will be posting that. More information about that in an upcoming video series regarding how to buy a house, and breaking it down by property type, breaking it down by what to expect, and then breaking it down by what type of financing you're going to be wanting to use, covering what down payment would be necessary in each one of those circumstances, because in some cases, depending on who's living in the condo or towns, and more likely condominiums, there have to be the numbers have to jive with the lender before they lend money on it. And in addition, certain loan programs will not finance condominiums and townhomes depending on how their financials look, and then the occupancy factor. Are there more owners that live there or more tenants? Basically, is it one of those places where a lot of people went in and bought up a whole bunch of units, or over the years, the ownership of the units has stayed stable, but the people in them don't live in them, they rent them out. So maybe by natural progression, the complex, having started being 100% owner occupied, has changed to be a lot more tenant occupied. Thereby that could cause an issue with particular types of financing. These are things that are covered in a buyer broker briefing that I put together just so you're equipped with the right stuff so you can get out there and make better decisions. One thing that people in the world take advantage of, it seems, is people that don't know the game, don't know their rights. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to those rights the best I can, so at least you go into real estate knowing partially what you're getting into, and you'll be able to build off of that and make the best decision. And those all other things to ask those people in your periphery that you might trust more than your selected real estate agent. At least you could ask their advice. Say, listen, my agent's telling me this. What do you think? More than likely, they're either going to validate or invalidate it. And if they invalidate it, at least that gives you a position where you can go back and speak with your agent, especially if it's something that makes you really sad. You should go talk to them and say, listen, what you told me the other day doesn't make a lot of sense. Would you please? If they stumble and hem and haw, and you found out that they in fact misinformed you or informed you of something in real estate that's going to assist them in their goal, which would be to make more money off of somebody that might be unsuspecting, at least at that time you'll know, and you'll be able to make the right decisions. New listings on the market. 75 properties have entered the market here in Santa Clarita Valley this last week. There are a couple new ones. That Plum Canyon one, Inderley in Canyon Country. That's a 3-bedroom home at $762. The one on Plum Canyon Road, that one popped up, 2-bedroom condo at $374. Good example to talk about. In some cases, financing is difficult, so prices have dropped dramatically. not financing, excuse me, insurance. Financing as well. Loans are difficult to be written on some particular complexes. It just depends on where it's going to be located. So as you get into real estate, the agent you select should be talking to you about these different areas, condominiums, and townhome complexes, because usually they require less money per square foot, so they're cheaper to buy than a single family residence, but they carry some other things with them. And in addition to extra taxes in some cases, so you as a real estate buyer need to have that money factored in before you purchase anything, while the lender does a good job factoring all that stuff in. Usually you're going to need some guidance as to how far you need to go. Example, as a real estate buyer, if you're qualified at $800,000, for example, at $800,000, you should know exactly what it costs you every single month to live in what you're about to buy. That includes your payment, all of the utilities, plus or minus a few dollars, but you'll be able to at least live on the past owner's record for utilities that love it hot. Maybe they like that dry talk about that the big joke comes out of. Maybe they like that. Maybe you're one of those colder people that need the air conditioner running more. Once you look at the numbers, you can get an idea, and then your expert, while they might not live in a condo, and maybe they will, maybe they do, or maybe they have, at least they can give you an idea of what that looks like. So if their electrical bill is $30 a month in a particular place, they're probably not using much electricity at all. They're probably using a lot more candles, and maybe not even refrigeration as far as keeping food cold, if it's that low. Your agent, your professional should say, wow, that's quite low. I think yours is going to be a little bit higher, and give you those numbers so you make the proper decisions. Back on market, we had 69 properties that have had their prices changed this past week in Santa Clarita Valley. Knowing this, that means that the market is having some growing pains. We have extra real estate listings on the market. However, those listings aren't lasting any longer due to the extra inventory. We would need double to change the market, shifting it from where it is in a seller's market to a buyer's market. We still have a high buyer drive. Interest rate, that promise of being lowered in the future, is something to also consider. If in fact it does lower a substantial amount, maybe a point or more, especially if it drops into the fours here in the next couple months, either August or September, depending. If that actually happens, then you're going to see real estate start moving very quick. In addition, you're probably going to see a little bit of a swell of listing activity also. So you're going to see more listings coming onto the market in the Santa Clarita Valley, giving buyers more choices, but the competition rate amongst buyers is going to go through the roof. Sellers are going to have their heyday, but it's going to be back where they're going to have multiple offers on properties. And that decision process, if you're not saddled with the right person, is going to be somewhat cumbersome. There are better offers to be had when you have a lot that have come in on a property, meaning, of course, some are going to have better financing, some are going to offer you more money. Say that, listen, we're not going to worry about any kind of inspection issues, or some might even be so upfront, they'll say, if the house doesn't sell for what I'm willing to pay for it, which is over and above the price you've established, I'm willing to pay that difference, real money. That might work, that looks great on paper, but no, and you would know this with your agent's advice, that particular loan programs will not allow somebody to go above and beyond appraised value when they inject their own money into the property. Sometimes. It depends on a person's financials, it depends on the bank that they're borrowing the money from, bank, hedge fund, investment group, whomever the money's coming from for the mortgage, whether or not they're going to allow them to increase the price themselves because they have extra cash in the bank or money or a gift, injecting it into the property once the appraisal comes in low, if in fact the seller isn't willing to renegotiate that particular price. And in a seller's market, not a lot of renegotiation goes on, especially if the seller's confident they can get what they're asking for their property. When the market morphs, if interest rates drop into the fours or even low fives, we're probably going to see that type of market kick off again, which is going to be useful for real estate buyers and also real estate sellers. We'll see the cancellations increase as a result, but we'll also have more properties in escrow in that process of moving out. I hope this daily real estate update helped. When you're ready, please reach out to me. I'm trying to see if there's any other information here that I put together that is going to be of value today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever's watching this at this particular time, however you would honor with honor, when you're ready, let me know. You can find us online at SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com. This has been your real estate update, and we will talk to you soon. I am Connor MacIvor. Over and out. As always, the funnest